Hey everyone, this is Alex.
This is Boschka. We're the Fool's Odyssey, and this is our episode 17.
Wow, that's 17 already, eh? That went quite fast.
Mm-hmm. Did it though?
Kind of, right? Because we didn't
When did we start?
Okay, so we started recording during the summertime-ish. But we didn't start uploading until
Oh, right. That's right.
September, I think. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we've been doing the trial run for a good 3 months.
Yeah. Actually, quite a bit of podcasts started this year, or last year, sorry.
Really? What do you mean by a lot of podcasts? A lot of people are starting podcasts too?
Yeah, last year because of the whole COVID thing, remember?
Ah.
But I don't think many of them lasted very long, just because of they weren't able to record together, I guess.
I see.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll end in another 10 episodes or so.
Or 2.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Okay.
New year,
Anyways.
right? New fuck
New
up.
year. Yeah, new year, new you. What would you say? Okay, so how would you make your ideal game?
My ideal game can't exist right now.
Why is that?
It's just not enough.
Technology?
Because, yeah, technology.
So, what would it be? What is it then?
It's kind of like Matrix, so to speak.
Like a whole VR,
You'll be in the Matrix.
VR thing?
Pretty much, yeah.
But we have VR technology.
No, not just that amount. It's the VR. Is it goes so much that it's like it almost how do you say it? You feel it, sort of me.
It's like sword art online. Like you're able to feel everything.
Excuse
you're
you.
able to smell it. You're able to
Excuse you. Make that dot hack.
dot hack.
How dare you?
Same fucking thing. But basically, you can feel the grass, you can smell the air, you can feel the rain on your face, like that kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Isn't that a little too much?
So, that's the thing. You'll do it so much that you forget about your real life. That's the goal.
Isn't that a problem though? Because people are already addicted to playing WoW or something, right? So won't they be truly addicted to playing your game? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Lose yourself.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. So you're trying to get these people addicted to the game, and then use their body energy as a battery. To power up.
That's why I said Matrix. To power up the machine.
Oh my god. That's a little... You know what? Okay, sure. Fuck it, let's do it. Let's fund your game.
Yeah, by all means, here. Yeah, but that's the thing. At least in my game kind of thing, it would be well, of course that'll be for example, a warning, hey, you've been playing for 6 hours. Stop. You gotta eat. Those kind of stuff.
Also, they'll automatically boot you out of the game.
Kind of that, or they put fucking supplement to you when you're in the thing. But I think that's too much, and that'll be too expensive. So yeah, they'll boot you out automatically. You have to take 2-hour break, and then eat, and then move your body or whatever. Well, the thing is in the game itself, I would try them to make the action you do, you move your own body while you're at it.
I see.
Except on a less, for example, if you run 100 meter, you don't have to run an actual 100 meter.
Yeah.
It just scales off to just say one step. You could fly away, and you could just do one step, and then it'll actually flew you away, kind of thing. You know what I mean? You don't have to flap your hands to fly and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of exaggerate your capability.
I think we're looking at this the wrong way, because we're looking at it as we're assuming that we have this VR thing at people's homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we should think of it more like an arcade, where you have to go to a certain area to be able to play that game. That way you have more control of what people can and can't do.
That's a problem. You want to know why?
Why?
Because somebody would be there for 8 hours. Instead of an arcade, it'll look like a fucking hospital. A lot of people inside a capsule just lying down across the whole building. Yeah.
But then, as you said, right, you have to have a big space so that people can run and jump and move and slash and dash.
Yeah,
right?
but it could be in a capsule. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a standing capsule. It doesn't have to be a huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you'll be staying inside the capsule and you can move,
Yeah.
like just whatever.
And then the other thing is that they have to pay for a certain amount of time, right? And then you can say like maximum 6 hours, as you said, right? That's their time limit. You can only play for 6 hours a day, or something like that. Right. So okay, I dig it. I dig it.
But then the thing is like, would that be a game or would that be the console though?
That I don't know. That's something for you
See,
to decide.
that that sounded like a console more than the game itself, right? Because that's how you play the game, not the content of the game, right?
Right, but I'm just right. That's the console itself, right? But for
Right?
the game itself,
Yeah.
what kind of game is it?
Because my game would probably going to be like, I don't know, because a lot of my favorite games are like spread out in different genre, right? Like there's like good RPGs, like insanely good RPGs. Action games are fun, but you can't kind of do like, I don't know. For me, it just doesn't work to do like I just say classic JRPG game with like a DMC kind of action. I just feel like it doesn't match.
Okay, well, instead of looking at the genre, let's look at the
Hmm.
setting. Where would you want this game to take place in?
Nice. I don't know. I kind of like medieval worlds.
Medieval world. Oh, so you want like more fantasy, sword and sorcery kind of thing.
Fantasy, yeah, swords and magic thing, yeah,
I see.
instead of a futuristic.
Okay. So then now that we
Hmm.
know what setting you want, what
Hmm.
genres go with that setting, right? So usually action RPGs, strategy,
Hmm.
not first person, maybe third person, like over the shoulder kind of thing.
First person. Sorry for like the Skyrim fans, but I don't think Skyrim was that good of a game.
First person or third? No, it is first person.
It's first person. You can make it third person, but
It looks weird.
the third person looks janky.
In your game, how is the character creation? Is it based off the person itself, or do they get to make their own avatar?
You can make your own avatar. Go kill yourself. That's what I'm saying. Just go insane.
See, that's the problem because with a game
That's
like
not.
yours,
That's not a problem.
no, because the thing is,
Yeah.
like, you're gonna have a to be able to have a lot of options. You're gonna be spending a lot of time just
Yeah.
the character creation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They'll probably waste the whole day just doing character creation. You're like, oh fuck, I was wasting my six
Oh
hours.
yeah. There you go. 6 hour character creation.
Easy.
That's gonna be the norm. That's gonna be the norm.
Are you gonna have a default avatar, or are you gonna be like, no, you have to make a character?
No, you have to make it. You start with a ball of flesh. That's what it is. You gotta shape it up. You gotta mold it up. Okay, the face gonna look like this. Yeah.
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, do you want it to be like a subscription based game? I guess it kind of is, right?
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Would you rather just be like, okay, everyone pays a flat fee and then just go wild?
I mean, you could, but the restriction still lies there though. In a sense, like you could only play a certain amount of hour per
Per day or something.
day kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you can still have those restrictions in that game.
Yeah.
What if someone doesn't want to leave? They're just like, hey, fuck you, man. I paid my money. I want to stay here as long as I want. Blah, 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 blah.
The machine shuts down, so yeah, you stay in that thing for however long you want. You won't be playing it, so because that's what it is. It boots you out, and the game just stop. Well, you can't.
But I mean, like, would you ban that person from playing the game? Or would you just be like, alright, just get out. You're stinking up the place. Go take a shower.
Kind of like that. I mean, you can stay if you want, but there's nothing for you to play, so do whatever you want.
Right? But then, no, but that person is taking up a capsule or whatever, right? You're losing money if that guy
Yeah.
stays in there.
Well, if you just want to sit there in the darkness, by all means, right?
Oh, okay. You don't give a shit.
Yeah, like by all means, if you just want to stay there, by all bloody means. It's not like, well, you're gonna sit there in the darkness. You'll get bored. I can tell you that.
So how would the game recognize that this player has played too much, and that he needs to get the fuck out?
Well, ID password, right?
So you're gonna have like a player card, essentially.
Kind of, yeah.
I see. Okay. Interesting. So this technology is maybe 20 years. In 20 years time.
Nah, it's in 4 years.
4 years. Oh, I'll be very scared if it is in 4 years.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past anyone.
Honestly speaking, though, I don't think it's gonna be anything in our lifetime. I think this game will happen when we die.
Well, that's the thing, right? You're underestimating human progress.
Of course,
Just like the people, just like the people before us.
because that's the thing, right? As you said, as you always tell me, keep your expectations low. I don't want to be disappointed in, flying
Oh, you
cars.
shouldn't expect it. You shouldn't expect it. You should just know that it is.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I know it's gonna happen. Just I won't be able to be alive to see it happen. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're expecting it, right? Because like, oh, flying car and whatever. I'm like, whatever. It will be there.
Yeah, it's just
I don't care if it's there or not. It's just it will be
yeah,
there.
but I just want to see it. Like, oh shit, flying car. Okay, good. And then I just rest in peace.
But I want my casket to be inside a flying car.
Just like yeah, just auto drive into the incinerator. Thank you.
The car just like vroom, speed up and then just like drift you off the casket to the incinerator.
For me, I think.
Hmm.
See, the thing is, I think I'm more of a Star Wars fanboy than anything.
I know.
Yeah, like more than I realize.
We know.
So I wouldn't mind playing an MMO Star Wars. I know there is one, the Old Republic.
Yeah, Knight of the Old Republic.
No, the new one by BioWare. Just the Old Republic.
Oh.
I think it's called just the Old Republic. But anyways, I actually was looking into playing that game, but
Hmm.
but that game is pretty good. But I was wondering if they're gonna make another one, because it's been a while since they been working on that game. Because I know they
Wait, is it like they're coming out or they're already been out?
for what do you mean?
The Old Republic, the game already out?
Oh yeah,
or?
it's been out for a while, like since the 2012, I think. They just released another expansion last year.
Oh,
Sorry,
I see, I see, I
not
see, I
last year,
see.
2 years ago. I keep thinking we're in 2020 still. But yeah, 2 years ago, it's they just released their expansion, right? The latest expansion.
I see.
And I want to play it, but then the thing about MMOs is that it's a subscription-based game, right?
Yeah, a lot of them
Yeah,
are.
so I'm kind of like, you can play for free, but you won't get everything, right? Or you can choose to spend whatever a month and you get everything. So it's kind of like,
What do you mean by everything though? It's like cosmetic or?
your level cap increases if you subscribe. You get access to all the expansions and some other stuff, I believe. But I think those are the main two: your level cap and expansion.
Level cap, eh? That's insane.
But I think the level cap is tied to the expansion, because when they released that latest expansion, the level cap increased to 75. So I think that's part of the reason why.
Uh,
But so for you, would you rather be able to buy the expansion separately, or would you want to be tied into the game so you subscribe and get it?
I don't know. For me, like, if it's an online game, because I don't know, I haven't played like real online game in a long, long while.
Mm-hmm.
If it's up to me, I'd probably. I don't know, because for me, I've played like free, like free online, and I played subscription based too,
Yeah.
right? From my experience, most of the time, subscription based is always hands down better.
Oh yeah, because they have
It's a better experience.
better. They have income to be able to put it back into the game.
Yeah, that's
I
why.
see. So okay, so of all the MMOs that are out right now, which one are you willing to play?
Willing to
Yeah.
play?
Like, which one is your number one? Okay, if I was to pick one and only one, that's the game I would play.
Yeah. Final Fantasy
I see.
14.
How much is that?
Because I really want to play that game right now.
Okay. Oh no, there's another one coming out, right? Fantasy Star Online or Genesis,
Yeah.
right?
That one's free
Oh,
though.
that was free. Okay. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just wait until that one comes out and play that one instead. Because
Yeah.
that's pretty much science fiction, right? This similar setting to Star
Yeah.
Wars, and
Yeah.
the combat system is kind of like Final Fantasy, right? ish.
No, no. It's you can slash, you can fly, you can do anything in the battle. So it's almost like Devil May Cry even.
Right. But just like
Almost.
Final Fantasy, whatever, 16, right?
Oh, you mean the Final Fantasy? Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want it as a 16, for me, like the game that hasn't come out, I wouldn't count it.
Interesting.
Like Final Fantasy 16 is not out yet, so I wouldn't count that as a Final Fantasy just yet.
Okay, but what about Final Fantasy 15? Isn't that how it's like you can fly in the air and zip zap zoom everywhere?
No, not exactly. Final Fantasy 15 is not very actiony in the sense that you attack by holding the button. It'll keep attack, 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 and you can dodge. And the dodge is just like that, dodge, dodge too. And then you don't really like even when you're jumping, you don't have that much control and whatnot.
I see.
And there's no like how do I say this like merit in doing stuff mid-air and whatnot too. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not that actiony, so to speak.
I see. Oh, okay. Okay, so now, so we talked about the genres you wanted, what kind of game you kind of want. So it's gonna be like a fantasy MMO ish kind of game. What about the story? Like, what kind of story would you want?
For online, I wouldn't care too much about story.
Really?
Unless it's like subscription based. When subscription based, I could see it. Like the story, they put thought into it. But like just like on like a free one, I just enjoy it for the gameplay.
Right. No, but for your game is obviously it's a subscription based game, right? So, like, so
Yeah.
what kind of story would you want?
No, there won't be
There
any
won't be
story.
any story.
The story is made by the player. Yeah. Because when they start in the game, there's nothing. So they're just open up in like in this terrain, and then what you do with the terrain is up to you. And every time, like for example, like let's just say, you cut a tree, you level up your tree cutting skills. You make a house, you increase your house building. Like let's just say process the material, your processing level up kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. So there's no gonna be like the legend
it's just
of Tarkak. Yeah.
There won't be even any NPC. If there is a legend of let's just say a Tarkak or whatever, that Tarkak is gonna be a
I
player.
see. So it's already established player in the game.
Kind of like that. Like I probably have like the first like beta player, and see who does what, and then establish the world upon that. You see? So let's just say there's the first king of the land of whatever. Let's just say land of Arcadia or whatever, and then that first king will be actually a player.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and let's just say there's another player that you're trying to usurp the king, the Kingslayer, and that will be a player.
So-
They will have their own like they could make their own faction, they could make own anything. It's just at the end the hand of the player.
So essentially, it's just Second Life, but in the fantasies world.
Kind of, yeah. And well, if you die, you respawn. It's just that, yeah, you'll have like some restriction when you die, like after you die when you're just revived. But at the same time, you'll be protected from like player killer kind of thing,
Oh, I see.
like for a good
Wow,
amount.
you're pretty nice
Yeah.
about it.
So it's not like you just gonna respawn and then got killed, respawn, got killed, respawn, got killed. No, of course not. That sucks. So you get killed, let's just say on a battle, and then you revived. You can't harm other player can't harm you, but you can still hunt.
No,
Kind
no,
of like that.
Okay, so I thought like for example, like to make an account is gonna be like I don't know, like $200 or something. Right? Get a player ID, get your everything scanned or whatever, upload the data, and then if you die, you lose that data and you have to make a new account. So you spend another $200. I thought that's what
No,
what
no,
you were
no,
gonna
no,
go.
no, 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 no. That's too rough. That's too rough because imagine you have like because in that game it doesn't have a health. You don't have a health. You have no
Oh,
HP.
so one hit die.
Depends on where you get hit. That's what it is. That's why. Like if you got slashed in the back of the neck, you die. Kind of like that. Well, you don't die like right away, but let's just say you got stabbed in the heart, you die. That's why you use armor or you wear like light clothing where you can dodge and whatnot, right? Whatever. But yeah, it was like that. So let's just say you're the king of Arcadia, la 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 la, and then you called your friend like, hey, let's play the game, and he's like a level 1 noob, just like walk around, yeah, and then he just stabbed you in the back of the neck and become the new king, and then you lost your character forever. That's just not right, you know?
Right, but then if the player that betrayed him became the new king, where does he respawn? He respawn back in the beginner village.
Well, no, he'll respond like, for example, let's just say, because let's just say, well, there will be like respawn point kind of thing, which is also gonna be like a safe
Uh-huh.
zone kind of thing. Like, let's just say you're being hunted by like this group of people and you're trying to run away. If you get into like this safe zone, nobody can touch you kind of thing.
So that's where they respond.
Yeah, yeah, that's why they respawn and
Okay.
stuff like
So
that.
okay. So now that brings up another question. So if a player takes the title of king from another player, and that player responds in the safe zone,
Well, in reality, there is no title king, right?
isn't there?
Well, in the sense, like, if that guy's a king, well, he probably call himself a king, and other people who follows him
Yeah.
calls him king, right? So that title born from the player itself, right? Just by killing the king doesn't make you a king, so to speak, unless it's a like a duel kind of thing. Yep, the winner gonna be the king of Arcadia, and then they duel, and then the old king lost or whatever. Like, it's gonna be an agreement
I
between
guess so.
player, right?
Okay. So now, the building aspect of the game, like when you're building castles and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that, it's gonna be sped up.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean
Like
sped up?
it's gonna be.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not Warcraft 3. We go like work, and like tick, 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 tick. No. You actually build a pillar on your own. Of course, it's gonna be sped up in a sense that your character, you're not gonna be like normal human, like working slow and
Yeah.
whatever, right? You'll be people that could like, let's just say, jump like 700 meters to the sky. Of course, your building will be like really quick, kind of thing. You know what I
That's what I
mean?
mean. Like it's gonna be like real time building. I was like, holy shit! Someone gonna spend like.
Like cement, make a cement, put it down, wait
Yeah.
until it dry.
I was like, holy shit! It's
Dude.
500 years to build a castle.
That's slightly much. Slightly much.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little too much. Music. Is there gonna be like background music in the game, or is it gonna be just sounds of the
It's gonna be
world?
Sounds of the World. Though you could set a music if you want. I guess I'm thinking like, yeah, like a
Like a
place
personal playlist,
you could, or like,
is it
let's just
game
say let's just say there's a bard in the world, right? Play a certain music
music?
and then you like it. You could like get the clip from that person, like pay them, and then use it in the world as your own if you want. If there's another bard that was like playing in the town, whatever music you're listening to will get overwritten by that, and was playing their music instead. Or you could change the setting to like, fuck that shit, I don't want to hear their thing, and just like,
So as a player, are you able to buy like a guitar and just play it in the game world, and people
buy?
can hear you
No,
play the guitar?
you can make it, yes, unless someone sells it, right? If somebody just make like, I have a
I
guitar
see.
store,
Oh, okay.
buy one, then by all means.
In
Huh?
terms of the story being
Mhm.
impacted by the players, right? What's the okay? Let me ask you this first. What is the overall like point of the game? Is this a second life? Just enjoy and do whatever the
You
fuck you
could
want.
do that, but in reality, it's like, so there's like setting kind of like too, like there's gonna be like an AI kind of thing. That's kind of be
Hmm.
like let's just say the game master is an AI, so to speak. So if somebody does behave
Yeah.
like inappropriate or whatever, and like they could get like a ban time kind of thing, like 6 hour ban, boom, like you can't play for a while and put you in the jail kind of stuff like that. You know what I mean? An actual jail. So that AI too also control, like, for example, world event. For example, there's gonna be like, let's just say, oh, there's a let's just say there's a stampede of low level monster coming like close to the other town or this village. People come over there and help and whatever, right? Or like sometimes it'll be like, oh, there's this colossus, yeah, approaching the kingdom of something, and then they have gather people to fight it, or like like there'll be stuff like that that's just like, and sometimes there'll be like, oh, there's a mysterious tree that like, I don't know, gives the fruits of heaven or whatever. If you eat it, your status will go up permanently. Those kind of stuff makes people trying to make their character the best kind of thing.
I see. Okay, and then how about gods? Are there gods in this world?
That would be the AI
So all things that non-player related is based on AI.
on that one AI. Yeah.
Can players become gods or no?
They could be like, like, for example, like if they want to make like a floating castle, and act like a god, by all means. There's no restriction.
Okay. Yeah.
But they won't have the power like a GM kind of have power over their games. You know what I mean?
So it can be godlike, but they can't be god themselves.
As in, like there's like almost no limit to the power themselves. In a sense that, like, for example, like if you the for my idea is that, for example, like let's just say you want to be able to, like move so fast, like in Bleach, like teleport behind your enemy or whatever like that, right? You
Yeah.
can't just learn that right away. For example, you need to learn how to like sprint really fast, move really fast, and like as you level those skills up, and the way to level it up is by using it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you master that. Let's just say now you could dash really fast in front of enemy kind of thing, and then by keep using it and then try to add a twist to the skill, so to speak, and like evolving the skill into something else. So like in a sense, like first even moving a step is a skill kind of thing. By mixing it, by modifying it, by doing stuff, it may grant access to like an original skill. And like even skills, a player who discovered them names them.
But how do you know if a player discovered it or not?
Well, because when they use it, right? For example, like let's just say they learn how to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Then it'll be like, whoop, you discovered the skill fly. What would you like to name it, right? And like let's just say levitation. Levitation, then everybody who learned levitation will have the name levitation.
Oh.
From then
okay.
on. Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like if you learned like super speed, you just call it super speed for yourself.
No.
And then if someone else learns super speed, they can call it like high velocity.
So that's just like let's just say the super speed, right? And somebody wants to name it super speed. Sounds boring. They want to name it like Sonic or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then the right of the skill, which is the owner, the one who found it first,
yeah,
can trade it or sell it to them.
Oh.
So they could change it then after.
So okay, but what if the player who discovered that skill decides he doesn't want to play the game anymore, he quits or he dies or whatever? So that skill cannot be renamed at all?
Oh no, of course they could, because like let's just say after like a certain amount of time, for example, like I'm gonna give it like probably like close to like maybe 2 to 3 years of offline activity, probably less. I don't know, maybe a year of like offline activity. Then most of the rights that the character has can be used by other people, kind of thing. Yeah, the one who will decide what's what will be, well, the AI, right? Maybe the AI gonna keep it that way, and I'm gonna use it in like a bidding or whatever, those kind of stuff.
So the AI is evolving and learns.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a self-learning AI kind of
thing.
That's a little scary.
As it should be.
Like Skynet, Terminator, kind of scary.
That's the end goal.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so now the reason why I asked all these questions is because I remembered what I wanted to say, which is that players that impact the story is a kind of interesting concept, right? Because we haven't really seen too much of that in video games or in any games in general.
Because
right?
there's always NPC, right? NPC is the one who builds the world.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
It's
so what I want is that when new people just join the game and they come to the village, they'll be like, talking to this person thinking that they're an NPC. Turns out they're like player, just, selling stuff on the market. You know what I mean? So like when they're trying to like, wow, that's too expensive. Can you like lower it down? So 50 gold. It's like, no, make it 70 at least. No, 55. No, 65. Like they actually do those kind of banter real time. Then that's pretty fun.
No, I mean like in a greater scale, because like I'll use Magic the Gathering for example, right? So way back in the day when they had Mirrodin and Phyrexians.
Okay.
Right. So like Phyrexians are like these like aliens who try to assimilate their people and take over the home planet, right? Kind of like a Zergs.
Right.
And then so Magic released a set where it's just like, okay, so now we'll let the player decide. If you choose Phyrexians, if more people choose Phyrexians, then the Phyrexians are going to take over their home planet. But if you choose Mirrodin, then more people choose Mirrodin, then the home planet Mirrodin will be saved, and they're able to fight back the Phyrexians, right? So depending on what the players wanted, the story changes. So I was thinking like, oh, that's pretty cool concept, but you don't get to see that many player interactions with the story, right? So then in your game, that's pretty much
that's
all it is.
Exactly, that's all there is to it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the lore building, the everything building was this people.
Yeah. So it would be cool, like one day when the people, was it, go into giant wars and stuff like that. Yeah, the textbooks will be like, oh, this war happened, blah blah blah.
Again, the one who wrote the textbook's got to be a player. You know what I mean? Everything, nothing is automated.
That's a little intense, isn't it? That's a little pressure, too much pressure on the players, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you don't have to write the book if you don't want to, right?
But it feels like someone needs to be a record keeper. But why would you play a game just to be a record keeper?
Because there's the fun in it, right? Because by record keeping, you learn a skill, for example. For example, like by record keeping, the record keeping, you learn skills to, interact with the AI. You know what I mean? Maybe. You don't know that, right? Like, I could make anything. Like, you could, for example, by record keeping, let's just say, now he writes, like, all these books and whatever, right? Yeah. Maybe that way it gives him, like, a proficiency in, like, writing spells and stuff. Maybe now you could use magic better. Maybe there's, like, some like, maybe you come out with a concept with, like, an ancient magic.
So, how about monsters? Or, like, leviathans, behemoths, and stuff like that? Are they going to be player created or AI created?
See? That could be both. Because I would not like stop what do you call it, like a player to do like like doing alchemy, like doing human mutation, making monster. By all means, like you could do all of those, but at the same time there's always going to be a threat in the world too. So in the wilderness there's going to be monster. In like a certain section there would be like like the Leviathan, the big monster. There might be like a Cthulhu even, and like in the sky or in the space, like we probably won't go to space. But in the sky itself, there would be like this big dragon that was like always looming as a terror. And there's always just like there's like the high tier, end boss kind of thing.
Yeah. So is that gonna be AI made or is that gonna be player made?
Again, like in the beginning, it's gonna be AI first. But if somebody decides to like, I want to make a bigger, stronger monster, well, they can. It's just that, just because you create the monster doesn't mean it's always tame though. So you better have the skill for like a monster taming if you want to control the monster. So
because like in terms of like old gods and new gods and stuff like that, that's gonna be all player made.
It's all player made, yeah.
I see. Oh, interesting. Because like essentially it's just like Dungeons and Dragons, but in a VR world.
Yes, exactly. Everybody's the DM, everybody's the player.
I see. Very strange. I think it's too much freedom, to be honest. A little too much.
Oh no, that's why. That's because in the end of the day, what it all is just what do you call it? Like a experiment table. You know what I mean? Want to see if group of people were put on this thing and they'd be able to do all this thing. Where will they end up in? Will there be peace? Will there be war? Right? It's just the human interaction that was like interesting, so to speak.
Oh, here's another thing I want to ask. Yeah. Are people's statuses gonna be randomized, or they all start off at like villagers?
First, there won't be any status, in a sense, because technically there is no status. There's only skills. So you won't have any skills. No. You'll start blank. Yeah. This
isn't a commoner. So there won't be like some players born in nobility or some players born as warriors. Everyone's just gonna be like a naked caveman.
Yes, or you could be born anything. You want to say you're nobility? Yeah, you're a noble.
Oh, okay.
Well, what do you have? That's the question, right? Do you have anything as a noble? Well, no, you don't. So you're not a noble. You're just no one.
So there's no point in saying you want to be a noble then, because you're just gonna be born as a nobody, anyways.
Yeah, kind of like that. But you could say you're a noble, like if that's part of your character setting. You could be whatever you want.
Interesting. Okay, so now this leads to my next question, which is, are you gonna have the player start off as a kid and grow up?
It's up to them. Though most of the time there won't be any age progression, unless they really want it.
So there's no reason to start off as a kid unless you want to grow up as a kid.
Kind of, or like if you think your kid character is better, like it's harder to hit or stuff like that, then by all means.
Like a Yoda character.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like having like a Yoda character. If you think it's good, then by all means. Like that means like your vitals are smaller, right? It's easier to judge and whatever, but at the same time you only have like a certain amount of range, right?
So is there no age progression in this game?
No, I'm not thinking of one. No, because what if they get so old that they die? That's just sad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is this game gonna be real time? Like, in the game world, is 1 hour gonna be real life 1 hour?
No, it's gonna be an accelerated world kind of
Accelerate
thing.
time. I see.
So an hour in the real life could be like a year over there or something like that.
Oh,
Let's just
so
say.
what about like the day and night and weather system? Is that all gonna be like randomized too?
Uh, for weather, it's
Hmm.
gonna be like a world event. So most of the time, it's like it's gonna be normal, as in like a clear day,
Yeah.
fun time for everyone kind of thing. But like
Hmm.
if there's world event, then go like, okay, the storm is coming, or like there'll be thunderstorm, or there'll be meteor shower.
I
That's
see.
gonna happen too. So
I see. So only in special events where it's like, hey, it's Christmas time. It's gonna be snowing for like a month, basically.
kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Oh, interesting. What about the day and night? Is it gonna be like one whole day is gonna be a day, and then the next day is gonna be night, or something like that? Or is it
No, no, no.
alternate?
It's gonna be like again. It's an accelerated world, right?
Yeah.
So day and night is just gonna be looping up in a different, like in a universal pattern kind of thing.
Hmm. That's pretty cool, I guess, but kind of
Yeah.
scary. I don't want to play a game at nighttime.
What do
I
you
mean,
mean playing game at night?
because it's gonna be dark and scary, and then if you're like someone who doesn't have fire, then you're gonna be
Yeah,
killed by the monsters.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you can
Or
just
player.
log out, and so you can log out and be fine. Is that what
You
happens?
can log out and be fine. Yeah. When you log
Oh.
out, you just you'll be probably be like like your character will be like put in stasis kind of thing, and it's
Yeah.
just your character in like this invulnerable mode.
Oh.
Nothing can touch it, nothing can anything, and like nobody can see you too. Kind of like you
Okay,
just
no
like
one can see you.
when you log in back in,
Yeah.
you got like what, like probably like a 30-second of like invulnerability time,
Oh.
and then you can do whatever. Like let's just say somebody decides to put a trap around you, you could just like run away from there or stuff like that.
But so when you log out, you just log it back in the exact same spot.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's no like oh, I'm gonna get killed, Alt F4, and then you're done. You know what I mean? And you'll be back normal. No, you'll respawn back on the on the hellhole that you were at, unless you use an item to leave the dungeon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. What about like fatigue, like player fatigue? Like, do people like the game character like feel sleepy and they need to go to sleep, or that doesn't exist?
That's connected to your character. If your character is tired, well, you like if the player is tired, the character is tired.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But if a player is
Yes.
hungry and the character
Yeah.
eats like a turkey leg in the game, would that
Mhm.
fill their would that make them satisfied in the real world too?
See, that's the line that I've been like trying to gloss about.
Yeah.
Because for me, like when they eat in game,
Yeah.
like they could smell it, they could, how do I say this, like they could like feel it, but they won't feel full. You know what I mean? Because they're not eating it.
Yeah.
They could just smell it. That, oh, it smells good. Nom nom nom. Your character eats. Your real life would probably be super hungry. That's probably an indicator you should eat outside. You know what I mean?
But but the thing about that is that it's dangerous because you're tricking your mind thinking that it's eating something. So it thinks it's eating something, but in reality,
No,
you're
but
not.
you're not, because your enzyme will be working, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's kind
So
of
that means
weird.
it's tricking that you're hungry. Exactly, it's telling you that you're hungry.
Yeah.
But then you're just like, oh, there's food, but you're not eating anything. You feel the hunger even faster.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. So what are you thinking of calling this game? Do you have a title for this game?
No, not really. I don't have anything yet.
Oh, that's interesting. See, for me, if I were to make it, if I were to make a game, I wouldn't give the players too much freedom.
Why?
I want to have the players play in an established world or something like that, like Lord of the Rings or something. Like they can play or Harry Potter. You know, like there's lore established already.
Okay, and then
And then, but I do agree with you having the players interact with the story. So like, even though there's an established lore already, their players can make a name for themselves. You know, like they can be the next Wizard King or
yeah.
the next Sauron.
But the thing is, like, for those world, that means, let's just say, they're not the main character, right, so to speak.
They're the
Because
main.
there's always Harry Potter.
No,
There's
no,
always Voldemort, right?
no,
There's always this world. Let's just say.
no. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
As people always say, right? You're the main character in your own story. That's how my game would work. You're the main character in your own story. Like
Yeah. But so what I'm saying is, like, you're not the big force, so to speak. You know what I mean? As in, like, they would have, let's just say, like, can they interact with Voldemort? Can they join their team? Can they help, like, Harry Potter?
oh,
Can they
like
join his team?
like okay, say if I were to make it into the Harry Potter world, I wouldn't have
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, or any of those characters in the game. It will take
None.
place either way before then or way after then. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I would. That's how I would do it. Yeah,
I see. So that there won't be a major factor of the game.
yeah, exactly. Like you
Like
hear
they'll
legends.
be
Of,
there in the background.
yeah, exactly. Like if you like take out a book from the library, you can read about it. You know,
Ah, yeah.
but they won't be a part of the game.
I see.
Like yeah, exactly. Like you won't go to Hogwarts and you'll be like, oh hey, it's Harry Potter as the headmaster. You know, like no, none of that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, you might see a statue of him, but that's about it.
Yeah. So then, for example, then what about the enemies then? What the enemies gonna be?
Whatever that's already established in the world, right? Like werewolves, unicorns.
I see.
Yeah,
So those kind of stuff.
like dragons.
The Mentor.
Yeah, the
and-
mentors. Yeah, because even though Harry Potter and all those characters that you know and love are gone, the enemies are still gonna be there. You know, like snakes and stuff like that. They're still gonna be a part of that world.
Dun 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 dun.
Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, but I want to make it a wizarding world. I'll probably make it more like fantasy. Yeah.
Star Wars world.
I don't know if I would make it a Star Wars world. I'll probably lean towards like, as you said, medieval.
Oh.
But then I would have like gods and stuff
Like,
that
let's say.
that you can interact with, but you wouldn't be able to become a. Oh, actually. Huh. Maybe I will let you become a god. Like maybe you have to do like a raid or something like that.
You can be what? Sorry.
He can be like a god. You know, like a god of war or something like that. Or like a
But what I'm saying is that, how many God of War can there be?
only one.
So it's a title that people can try to take from one another, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So even though you become godlike and powerful, someone's gonna try to stab you in the back. Oh, interesting. Maybe or maybe not. I'll keep that in the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will
Think about it,
Yeah.
and then tell me your version of the game.
But I will have people be able to interact with gods and stuff like that. That's for sure. And then if you look up in the
Like
sky,
what?
you can see a dragon.
Can they kill him? Can they be one in a sense? Like are the so-called gods just like a monster that they can kill and claim? You know what I mean?
For now, I'll just say that they can interact with the gods, asking them for favors, and then to get like a power boost or an aura or something like that, or maybe new skills and abilities. But they wouldn't be able to like physically attack them. Not yet. I think I'll leave it at them being able to just interact with each other.
So there will be like a one time where they like they could.
They could fight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe I'll just leave that out. Like you can't kill the gods.
Because a lot of the story, like in MMO, right?
Mhm.
Most of the, how do I say this? Like most of the game makes you the main character, so you could kill, let's just say this final boss, and so could the other guy. So it's kind of like your story's not attached, right?
Yeah.
And that's like the one thing that I want to avoid.
It's having too many of those gods. Like that.
Kind of like well, I'm the god of war in this game. Well, so am I. Kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Like titles,
No. Exactly. Like I want there's only one, and that will be the
Oh,
way to go.
I think maybe I'll change it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna have multiple servers, and each server is
Okay.
gonna have different set of gods. So one can be based off of like Norse mythology. The other one would be based off of
Yeah.
Egyptian mythology. Maybe I have to do it like that, and then whatever server you want to be on, that's the gods you'll interact with.
I see.
Yeah. So if you want to be like doing with the Greek gods, you have to join a different server. Yeah,
And
I
then,
think I'll do it that way.
uh, yeah, I see.
And then
Interesting.
if you join that particular like the Greek world server,
Uh-huh.
and then you decide to go to the Egyptian server, the
Uh-huh.
landscape and the whole area is gonna be completely different. Like all the
But they can't interact with one another.
what do you mean
For example, like the Egypt world cannot, like the server cannot interact with the
with the Greek or
uh
something?
with the Egypt one, kind of like that.
No, but
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say
So
no.
let's just say Thor cannot interact with Anubis, kind of
Yeah,
thing. Shiva could not interact with
right.
Odin.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. But I will have a like world event where all the servers will be open to each other, and then that way they can interact with each other. But that's only during events.
huh?
But then when it's not during an event, the realms will be closed off, so they have to be in their own realms.
Separated.
Yeah. So the realms can only be opened when there's an event. Basically, when I say so.
Yeah, because for
Yeah.
me, what I'm saying is that I feel that's too restrictive.
You think it's too restrictive, eh?
Yeah, it's too restrictive. As in, like, well, for example, let's not be rude, but we all know that Greek and Scandinavian gods are more popular than any other gods. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's gonna be the two servers that's gonna be pulled up, right?
Mm. I don't know. I mean, how to make it so that maybe it's just based off those gods and not exactly like those gods.
Well, I know, but like even if the looks of it, they could tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's just say like their armaments, like their weaponry and
Yeah.
whatever, would look clearly different, right? And the knowledge that people have about those gods too will be, like to say, even if you says like based off kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, you'd know that you know like the information and whatnot will be more uh slanted towards the how do I say this, like the more popular
Right,
gods.
right.
Won't that be like, you know,
What if I made it?
I don't
What if
know,
I made it a little bit more restrictive? So,
like what?
so we'll say with those four servers, right? A north, south,
Mm-hmm.
east, west kind of thing, right? Each
Mm-hmm.
each occupying a different space on the world map. And what if I said each server has their own like unique class that you can pick, but only specific to that server?
But then what about, like, you know, balance? What I'm saying.
Balance is something that comes over time. You can't balance the game right away. It's just impossible, I
No,
think.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, like, let's just say you could be a samurai in the Japanese server, where you could be like a, let's just say, I don't know, a berserker and like
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Yeah.
right? And let's just say somebody found out that, oh yeah, the samurai is so amazing, you could slice through metals or
Yeah.
whatever. Won't people just go to that server instead?
No.
That's like one of my my worry
Mm,
of the restriction of class. That's why.
no, because you know why? All the
No.
skills and stuff are
Mm-hmm.
based off the player themselves. Like you have to, as you said, right? If you want a super speed or flying in
Mm.
your game, you have to work for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
then what's the point of the class then?
because it's only specific to the culture, right? Right? Like if you went to the Scandinavian world, are you going to see any samurais there? Can you be a samurai in the Scandinavian world? No, because that's the culture doesn't. It's not the culture.
See, for in my world,
It's open, right?
you could be you could be Indian and then have a katana. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I want my game to be more
Because
restrictive.
because exactly, because for me there's nothing. You could be the Lord. It could be, you know, like, yeah, like let's just say now the land of the sands make katanas. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, you know, whatever. Like, you do whatever. That's how I say it, you know.
Because since your game is really free, I want to make my game a
Yeah.
bit more restrictive. Not super restrictive, but just more restrictions. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like because you said class, right? I was just wondering
Yeah.
why would that class do? Because if in the end of the day, your skill is based on you, are you saying that let's just say there's a samurai, like a katana wielding
Yeah.
dude? Let's just say his class is like a samurai, but his skill was like all just like I don't know, like gun wielding. That's what I mean. What's the point of the
Yeah.
class if it doesn't restrict even more?
I know what you mean, but it's all gonna be culture. It's a cultural thing basically. That's what.
Or is it just like a title thing, as in like, okay, you're a samurai. Yeah, you're a samurai, but you can do whatever you want, kind of thing. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
guess so.
I think. Let's just say you're a samurai, but your special ability is like magic. Like you could shoot meteors or samurai.
Are you samurai?
You know what
Are
I
you
mean?
samurai, but you shoot finger lasers? I don't know. Yeah.
You're a samurai, but your special ability is like with let's just say with fist. I'm like, why are you samurai? A brawler that's only good for like using a shotgun. Like, come on. That's what I mean. What's the point of the class if it doesn't restrict it?
But for you, like that's what it is, right? Like you can be like a giant barbarian.
But there won't be a title, is what I'm saying. They're not a barbarian. They're their own player. They could be whatever they want. You could be like, let's just say, a 4-year-old lowly character that's holding like a 4 tons missile in her back. Let's just say, and she calls herself a brawler. Then whatever, because there's no classification. You know what I mean? You could be whatever.
It's kind of like in real life, like what's the difference between like a nurse and a doctor, or like a policeman or a firefighter? It's not because they say they are. It's because they trained and worked in that field, right?
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So, when you said there's a class
Yeah.
for it, right? But you said all the skills will be based on the player, right? So what's the point of the class then?
So, like, what's the point of having a policeman be a policeman? Why can't he just be a firefighter? It's because they learned the craft. That's what I mean. Yeah.
That's what I mean. So, for example, to be called a samurai, you have to be able to, let's just say, katana wield kind of
yeah.
thing. So you have to have the skill related to it to become
Yes,
one.
exactly. Yeah. You can't just be
okay.
like, okay, I'm a samurai.
Because in my head, a samurai is just a title. That's what I'm like.
I
Huh?
see.
Like what? That didn't come across very well. So I was like, what do you
Oh, I
mean?
see.
What's the point of someone being a samurai without any, restriction?
I guess it'd be more closer to like a ronin, I guess, and he gets promoted to a samurai.
It could, but at the same time, what I'm saying is that like, well, to obtain that title, that means you need to have the specific skills that make you that, right?
Exactly.
If that's what it is, then that makes sense.
Mine is more based on like real life and how you would find
Yeah.
professions.
Because when you're bringing like classes, right? Like samurai and whatnot, it means you're bringing real life lore into the land, right? Into your land. Yeah. So that makes sense.
So I guess in a way, my game will be like Second Life, but a little bit more restrictive. Yeah, but yours is total freedom, which is crazy. Yeah,
Total
it's just, like,
freedom.
unheard of in any game whatsoever.
So you can see like 12 people with like separate swords, you know what I mean? Fighting completely different style. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, no one's stopping you. Let's just say you're doing an EI with a Sephiroth sword. It is impossible, but if you have the skill, I guess. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
what if are the players able to make the exact same character as another player? Like if I want to, like, because you can make your avatar, right? Say one
Yeah.
person, like say I made a character that looks exactly like Cloud, and then my friend was like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna make a character that looks exactly like Cloud too."
So the question is, how exact is
Like-
exact? Like, are you telling to like the exact same, for example,
Exact
like,
same
like
options.
length of the hair, like exact, like you pretty much copy paste what both each other do, kind of thing? Of course you could. Of course you could.
Oh.
Yeah. You could have like 12 Sephiroth. That's what I'm saying.
So the game wouldn't be like, character profile taken already. Choose another.
Nope.
Change the options.
Nope. You can do whatever you want.
Wow. So you can literally see an army of Sephiroths.
Yeah, you could. Like, I'm serious. But
Wow.
what differentiating it is the skills, right?
Okay.
Because let's just say somebody looks like Cloud, right? Well, let's just say several people looks like Cloud, and they decided to use all the Buster Sword and Buster Sword. Yeah, sure, but like, would they have the exact same skills? Nah, people have preference, right? They think their Cloud is do this, and then while the other one thinks they do this, right?
Yeah.
So they have like their own image of that, and they could do whatever they want.
I see.
Like if somebody want to make like a weird like Sephiroth cross, so like there's a Sephiroth like looking character with like Buster Blade, by all means, nothing stopping you.
I see. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
full freedom, full anarchy.
Which okay now, but for my conclusion, it's kind of weird because
Yeah.
based on our personalities, you would think it's the opposite of how we will run our games, right? Like,
Yeah. How so?
because I would assume you would want it to be more restrictive, and I would want more freedom. But but in reality, our games are like the opposite.
Completely the opposite.
Yeah, we're like the opposite of each other. It's kind of
Wait,
weird.
what makes you think by my personality I would be more restrictive? What do you mean by that? I'm actually curious about that.
It's because I don't know. I always thought you want like certain ways to be
Control?
Yeah, like a little bit more.
More
control.
like that?
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why. It's just a feeling I get. Like you wanted like
Which I agree because well, probably because you probably know this from like me when I'm working.
yeah.
Yeah, when I'm working, I need something to be done certain way. Has to be.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
But when it comes to like free time and hobby, do whatever you want.
Yeah, like oh, maybe it's because it's more like you don't care what other people do, but as long as what you're doing is what
It's fun.
Yeah.
So seriously, so as long as everybody just have fun on their own way, then by all means.
I see. So it's not more like restrictions for other people; it's just more restriction for yourself.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
So I guess it fits with your character.
I'd say. For you, on the other hand, I was like, well, I guess I kind of see it in a way that you like to have a set base ground as like a lore, so people don't get lost.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess
There's
so.
something to guide. You know what I mean? Like as in like, oh yeah, okay. So there's this thing, and I want to be this thing, so let's just follow what this thing do, right? Kind of like that.
Yeah, like
Which makes sense, I
There's
would
like
say.
there's like a holy grail or like a golden goose or something like something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
Like the golden triangle that you can be. That's what you.
yeah.
I could see you doing that. That's why I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Okay. Interesting. This the more you learn, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add into the topic?
I am good. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, it's a pretty good talk. Don't forget
Yeah, we
to
haven't been talking this heated up in a while.
yeah. Don't forget to follow us on foolsodyssey92@gmail.com. Just give us a email and let us know what you think and whatnot.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that's about it. All right, Bosch.
That's about it?
Yeah, Bosch, do the outro.
All right then. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. This is Full Odyssey episode 17. This is Boschka.
This is Alex.
We'll see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.